All right, I'm here with Rob Venditti, the man who brings us the magic that is XO Manowar, and someone you may have heard of, a guy named Green Lantern, just a guy. Tell me, what is it like to be responsible for probably the face of DC and then also the entire face of Valiant?
I don't think either one of those things is all that accurate. Valiant obviously has a lot of great creators working for them, a lot of big books. Mine's just one of them. Josh Dysart does a great job on Harbinger. Fred Van Lente does a great job on Archer and Armstrong. So there's a lot of really good stuff over there. I by no means is that the face of the company. And as far as Green Lantern goes, it is a big property, but again, there's no shortage of those at DC. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, these are all like internationally known brands. But in terms of working on those characters, like for me, I just feel very lucky to be able to do it. It's not anything I ever thought I'd be able to do. When I started out, I didn't grow up reading comics. I started reading comics when I was in my late 20s. So when I got into writing comics, I was doing my own creator-owned things, working on properties like these, something I never thought I would have the opportunity to do. So I take it all in stride, and I try not to think about those kind of aspects of it too much because I'll just freak myself out. So I just tell the stories that I know how to tell and hope people like them.
Was it a pain to try and step in? I mean, obviously Jeff Johns leaving was a huge big deal. He'd done it for a long time. Was it hard? Was it like a fill the boots kind of thing, or were you very much like, I'm just going to pretend like this wasn't a thing before and keep going?
Well, no, I mean, I obviously was very cognizant of all that, and I read his entire run, and a lot of what I'm doing, his run is foundational for that, But yeah, I couldn't really think of it in terms of filling anybody's shoes because he's got shoes that really can't be filled. I mean, he wrote the book on Green Lantern, literally, So this entire emotional spectrum, all this stuff, this is all his imagination and all of the scale and scope he brought to the series. So for me, I can't think about it in those terms again. I can just write the stories that I know how to tell and hope people like them, as opposed to trying to compete with anybody,
Now, you've got two big events coming, obviously on the DC side. We've got Lights Out, and then Unity is right around the corner for Valiant. Give us a little bit about both. What should we be expecting? Is this going to be one of those everything changes sort of events for both companies?
For Lights Out, very much so. I mean, and it's not hyperbolic to say that as far as the Green Lantern titles that are going to be involved, which is Green Lantern Corps, Red Lanterns, and New Guardians, they're going to be huge changes that take place in Lights Out that are going to be lasting and profound for each of those books and each of those main leads. And so that's definitely going to be the case there. Now, Unity is something that is a very different approach to a crossover. It's not it's very much a watershed moment for the Valiant universe. It never had a super team before, not even the original incarnation. So now with this crossover, they're going to have the first Valiant super team. And the way we set it up, it's been very painstaking and very meticulous about the way we set it up over the entire course of Valiant history. Knowing that there was going to be a Unity team at some point, how can we set it up in a way that we could have XO Manowar clashing against this team of superheroes, created to go against him. And so it's something I'm really excited about. I think it's a different approach to that kind of crossover. It's really unique, it's really inventive. Matt Kinch is doing a great job with it, so I'm really very excited about both of them.
Nice. Any words, since you came from a creator's start and doing it on your own and then got to the pinnacle, any tips, any advice you'd give to folks who are trying? I mean, obviously I'm sure you get it a lot, but if there was one thing, what would you say?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of one things I would say, but I would say probably the most for me, like I started out working in the warehouse at a publisher, volunteered to pack their boxes, and that ended up being the publisher that published The Surrogates, which was the book that sort of got my career going for me. And so to me, like a lot of people ask me, how do you get your start? And I'll start to tell them that, and their eyes will glass over, like I'm an artist, I don't pack boxes, and for me, it's like, don't limit yourself, don't limit yourself in terms of the opportunities, because this is the arts. You don't apply for a job, you don't fill out an application to write Green Lantern, you know what I mean? Like, that's not how it works. So whatever the opportunities are that can help you, get in, get your foot in the door and start to know people and be around, people with common goals and that kind of thing, that's what you should do,
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
No problem, man. Thank you.
Have a good one.